Psalm TV, the pulse of the nation. Psalm TV, the pulse of the nation.
When a tanker bearing fuel falls or an underground pipe bearing fuel bursts, what do you do? Scooping fuel in your bucket or running far away from impending fire? You have a few seconds to take the wisest decision. Walk away? No, that is not enough. Shift? No, that is not enough. Stay there and gist and take shots with your phone? That is madness. Run. Yes, run away. Yes, your life depends on your action. The flames come suddenly, unexpected but uncontrollable. Why? Fuel is highly inflammable. Why? It just requires a spark to set off a ravaging inferno. So, don't stay there to think. Storm away to live. Do not throw away your life in anguish for meaningless fuel siphoning. Be advised.
Yo, what up, ladies and gentlemen? I go by the name of Diaso. Keep watching something. Don't skip.
University of Kashere, the School of Postgraduate Studies, Federal University of Kashere, Gombe State, is inviting for application from the suitably and qualified candidates into the postgraduate programs of the university for the 2025-2026 academic session. It is important to note that only courses available for the session are advertised, and as such, candidates are advised to select only courses available in this advertisement. Candidates are expected to submit their application forms online together with scanned copies of their credentials. The available faculties and programs are Faculty of Agriculture, MSc Agric Economics, PGD Agric Extension, PhD Agronomy, PhD Crop Protection, MSc Agronomy, MSc Crop Protection, PhD Animal Science, MSc Animal Science, PhD Soil Science, MSc Soil Science, Faculty of Education, PhD English Education, MEd English Education, MEd Measurement and Evaluation, MEd Educational Management, MEd Curriculum Studies, PGD Education, MEd Biology Education, MEd Computer Science Education, Faculty of Humanities, PhD History and Diplomatic Studies, MA History and Diplomatic Studies, PhD Islamic Studies, MA Islamic Studies and Finance, MAF, MSc Business Admin, Masters of Business Administration, MBA, Faculty of Social Science, PhD Economics, MSc Economics, MSc Geography, PGD Geographic Information Systems, MSc Political Science, PhD Sociology, MSc Sociology, Faculty of Science, MSc Biology, MSc Chemistry, MSc Computer Science, PGD Computer Science, MSc Mathematics, MSc Physics. Interested candidates are advised to log into the Federal University of Kashere URL https://applicants.safapply.com/FUK after paying a non-refundable application fee of 20,000 Naira only to fill and submit the application form. Applicants are advised to be checking their email accounts regularly for feedback about their application. For further inquiries, please contact the Secretary, School of Postgraduate Studies on the following phone numbers: 080-3286-1969, 070-6959-0457, or 0816-5730-439. Announcer, Professor Shehu Usman Hassan, Dean.
Good evening, viewers. You're watching news at 9 p.m. on Psalm TV, the pulse of the nation. You can follow us on Facebook at Psalm TV. We are also on YouTube at Psalm TV Live. I'm Bridget James, and now the major headlines. President Tinubu emphasizes religious tolerance, urges Nigerians to embrace coexistence during the funeral of Mama Lydia Netewe in Jos. Nasarawa plans vaccination of 1.3 million children against measles and rubella. Small-scale women farmers organization in Nigeria calls on government to subsidize agricultural input for women farmers. International news. Israel carries out heavy strikes on Gaza despite U.S. ceasefire proposal. Business news. Jack Motors reaffirms commitment to Nigeria with a strengthening of partnership with Elizabeth. Entertainment news. U.S. hip-hop star Sin Diddy comes sentenced to 50 months in prison over prostitution charges. Sport news. Africa for Peace Sports Festival set to begin in Delta State with 10 million naira prize. And now the news in full. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu arrived in Jos, Plateau State on Saturday afternoon to attend the funeral of Nana Lydia Yilwada, mother of APC National Chairman Professor Nentawe Yilwada. Upon arrival, he proceeded to the Cochin Headquarters Church for the service. Heightened security was evident across the city, with personnel from the police, army, civil defense, and road safety corps deployed to safeguard key roads and the venue. The Plateau State Governor earlier announced temporary road closure in Jos and Bukuru to facilitate the visit, with alternative roads provided to ease traffic and ensure the smooth movement of motorists. President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, has emphasized the importance of religious tolerance, declaring that hate is not an option. The president made the statement during the burial of the mother of APC National Chairman, Professor Nentawe Yilwada. Tinubu noted that although he inherited Islam from his parents, his wife is a Christian pastor who prays for him. Yet, their union has never experienced conflict. He stressed that Nigeria must embrace peaceful coexistence across faiths, urging leaders and citizens alike to draw lessons from his personal experience of our harmony within a multi-faith household.
And friendliness. Hate is not an option for us. Love is what you preach, that we should love one another. Nobody determine what God has ordained. God's ordained action and His prophecies is what matters. I inherited Islam from my family. I didn't change. But my wife is a pastor. She prays for me. No conflict. And I never did at any single time to convince her or combat her. I believe in the freedom of religion. We are praying to the same God. We are answerable to the same Almighty God. We will answer to Him. We will account to Him. Our deed, our character, our love to our fellow beings is what is important. Not the method and the faith of Him. The Almighty, we pray to accept the soul of Lydia and give all that she left behind a blessing and glory. To say, may her soul rest in peace. Thank you very much.
Would like to just remind the elders that His Excellency
Taraba Concerned Youth today appealed to Governor Agbo Kefas to formally join the All Progressive Congress, saying a switch will align the state government with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda and accelerate efforts to salvage the future of Taraba State. The youth group argued that closer cooperation with the federal government will unlock funding and policy support for security, infrastructure and youth employment program in the state.
Good morning and the future of our dear states. Today, Taraba State stands at a defining moment. As young people, we carry the weight of tomorrow on our shoulder, and our greatest desire is to see our state prospering with opportunities, jobs, and model amenities. From Jalingo to Gembu, Takun to Lau, Ukari to Karilamido, the voice of youth is one. Taraba must not be left behind in Nigerians' development journey. Governor Agbo Kefas has already inspired us with bold reforms in education, healthcare, and empowerment. His energy and commitment have rekindled confidence among young people, but truth remains that many of the challenges holding our state back are beyond what Taraba alone can solve. Why Taraba needs strong federal support. Critical projects that could transform our economy and create jobs for our youth have been abandoned for too long. The bridge, the Ibi Bridge, it is a gateway for trade and commerce. The collapse of the Nane Bridge, which has cut off communities and opportunities. Federal highways is in worsening condition, especially the Jalingo Loud Karilamido Road, and the River Benue crossing. The massive Ukari Jalingo Zinc Road project running into hundreds of millions of naira, far beyond the state's purse. The Mambila hydropower project, a dream that can power industries and households across Nigeria. These are not luxury projects. They are lifelines for Taraba's growth. Without federal partnership, they will remain unfulfilled promises. While Governor Kefas should align with APC, Nigeria today is driven by the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. For Taraba to attract attention at the highest level, our governor must work side by side with the federal government. This is not about party rivalry. It is about practical politics and practical politics that brings real dividends of democracy. If Governor Kefas joins the All Progressive Congress, APC, Taraba will gain direct access to federal projects, resources, and opportunities that our people, especially the youth, desperately need. Our appeal as young people: we, the youth of Taraba State, are united in this call. We want development, not division. We want bridges that connect us, not politics that separate us. We want roads, power, jobs, and opportunity that secure our future. Governor Kefas has already shown he is a man of courage and vision. We urge him to make history by aligning with the center, so Taraba can rise and take its rightful place in Nigerians' progress. As young people, our future depends on decisions taken today. We therefore make this passionate appeal. Governor Kefas, for the sake of Taraba's youth and generations yet unborn, lead us into the APC and into a partnership with President Tinubu's Renew Hope vision. Together we can move Taraba forward.
Okay. The Adamawa State Police Command has recorded major successes in its fight against crime, arresting 72 suspects and rescuing 18 adopted children in various operations carried out between July and September 2025. Our correspondent, Ojoma Yusuf, has the details.
The Adamawa State Police Command has showcased its breakthrough in a fight against crime and criminality, arresting 72 suspects and rescuing 18 adopted children in various operations carried out between July and September 2025. CP Maurice Dankombo, in a press briefing, noted that the achievements were as a result of coordinated operations by the command's tactical units, including the Anti-Kidnapping Squad, Crack Squad, Intelligence Unit, area commanders, and DPOs. The CP expressed gratitude to Governor Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri for his continued support to the security sector and commended the people of Adamawa State for providing credible information that aided police operations.
I welcome you all to the Adamawa State Police Headquarters for today's briefing. The purpose of our briefing today is twofold. The first is to present or showcase our achievement and successes for the third quarter of the year 2025, starting from July, August, and September respectively. Secondly, to review, evaluate, and engage in a crucial dialogue with the senior officers, HODs, and DPOs on matters central to our professional integrity, in line with our action plan to fight crime and criminality to the barest minimum, as well as to convey the IGP directives during the senior Officers Conference held in Abuja. It will interest you to know that when I came on board last year as the Commissioner of Police Adamawa State, I promised that I will fight crime and criminalities to ensure that the good people of this state sleep with their two eyes closed. Consequently, the Adamawa State Police Command under my watch has carried out various coordinated operations, including sustained raiding of criminal hideouts and black spot that led to some breakthrough as enumerated below. Suspect arrested through the collaborative effort of the Anti-Kidnapping Crack Squad, Intelligence Unit, Tactical Squad, Area Commanders, and Divisional Police Officers. The command, during this third quarter, arrested 72 suspects, of which 57 have been charged to court, while 15 are undergoing investigation for different offenses, which include kidnapping, 9 cases, armed robbery, 7 cases, culpable homicide, 22 cases, rape and sexual offenses, 18 cases, theft, 9 cases, Sheila Boys, 4 cases, abduction, 3 cases.
He urges Adamawa residents to remain vigilant and promptly report suspicious activities, noting that security is a collective responsibility. See something, say something. Ojama Yusuf, Some TV News, Yola.
The Nasarawa State Primary Healthcare Development Agency has announced plans to vaccinate over 1.3 million children against measles and rubella across all 13 local government areas of the state. The exercise, targeting children aged 9 months to 14 years, will run from October 6 to 16, 2025. Speaking in Lafia during a media dialogue, State Health Educator Ishaya Amegwa stressed the importance of media advocacy to eliminate the disease by 2030. UNICEF Health Specialist Dr. Lukman Ahmed urged parents, traditional rulers, and religious leaders to support the campaign, emphasizing the safety and effectiveness of the vaccines, which will be free. The Small-Scale Women Farmers Organization in Nigeria, in partnership with the International Budget Partnership, has called on federal and state governments to subsidize agricultural inputs to boost productivity and make good more food. Speaking in Lafia at the close of a 3-day workshop on strengthening women's farmers' voices in budget processes, the program coordinator Ogechi Okebugu highlighted challenges such as high input costs, insecurity, and lack of mechanized equipment. She urged government support through cluster farming and accountability in budget allocations. Nasarawa coordinator Jumai Yohana stressed the need for policies that empower rural women to enhance food security. The fatal road crash occurred on Friday at Police Commissioner Junction in Maiduguri, Borno State, claiming 2 lives and leaving 6 others injured. According to the Borno State Sector Commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Usman Mohammed, the accident happened when a tipper's brake failed, crashing into a Toyota Corolla and 2 tricycles. Emergency teams quickly responded, taking the injured to the specialist hospital, Maiduguri, while the deceased were deposited in the morgue. Authorities have launched an investigation. Mohammed urged motorists to maintain their vehicles and obey traffic rules to prevent further tragedies. The Kano State Agro-Pastoral Development Project has invested about 800 million naira in training stakeholders, beneficiaries, and workers to strengthen livestock development. KSADP project coordinator Ibrahim Muhammad disclosed this during a workshop at the Kadawa Artificial Insemination Center, noting that the program includes artificial insemination training for livestock staff and technicians funded by Islamic Development Bank and the Lives and Livelihood Funds. The project has also renovated the Insemination Center, prosecuted exotic bulls, and provided modern equipment. Mohammed stressed that the capacity building aimed to enhance efficiency, breed improvement, and sustainability of Kano's livestock sector after the project's closure. The United Nations Children's Fund has donated ICT equipment to the Sokoto State Operations Coordinating Unit to strengthen social protection initiative under the EU-funded Sustainable and Inclusive Social Protection Project. UNICEF Chief of Field Office, Michael Juma, he said that the nation will boost the National Social Register and enabling better identification of poor and vulnerable households. The support includes 200 tablets, 200 power banks, and laptops for data collection. Sokoto Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Dr. Zayana Abubakar, welcomed the gesture, pledging state commitment to expanding social protection programs such as cash transfers, school feeding, pensions, and health insurance. The Lagos State government has shut down Itedo Market in Lekki indefinitely for repeated environmental breaches and illegal roadside trading. Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab, announced the action on Saturday via his official X handle, confirming that 5 individuals were arrested during the enforcement exercise. He said the 3 Black Maria vehicles have been deployed at the site to deter further violations. Wahab stressed that Lagos will not tolerate disregard for environmental regulations or unauthorized street trading, adding that the state remains committed to restoring order, ensuring public safety, and upholding the rule of law. The Federal Road Safety Corps has arrested more than 250 commercial taxi drivers in the Federal Capital Territory for overloading within the first 2 days of a new enforcement exercise. FCT Sector Commander Felix Tayman said the crackdown, launched on October 2nd, aimed to restore passenger dignity and road safety. Offenders were caught violating the directive mandating only 1 passenger in the front seat of taxis. The operation, backed by transport unions and mobile courts, will intensify from October 6th. The FRSC warned that unsafe vehicles will be impounded, stressing its commitment to safer and more orderly public transport. The Nigerian Police Force says it has not been officially served with the Federal High Court order on the disputed tinted glass permit. The clarification followed human rights lawyer in Behe Ifong social media post sharing except over the ruling, which appeared to restrain enforcement pending further hearing. Force PRO CSP Benjamin Hudayin countered that only part of the order was highlighted, noting that some relief sought by applicants John Akpopo Martins were refused, while applicant counsel Kunle Edun San held the ruling as a step towards protecting citizens' rights. The revised permit policy set for October 6, 2025 remained contested. House Minority Leader Honorable Kingsley Chinda has dragged Speaker Abbas Tajuddin and 9 others to the Federal High Court, Abuja, seeking to halt plans to remove him from his position. The suit, filed through Dr. D.Y. Musa San, alleges the move is politically motivated due to Chinda's association with FCT Minister Barrister Ezenwo Nyesom Wike. Chinda's application seeks declaration that Any removal without compliance with the House standing orders and the constitutions will be unlawful, alongside injunctions restraining the defendants from proceeding. Reacting, Deputy Spokesperson Honorable Philip Agbese reaffirmed the House's commitment to constitutional democracy and rule of law, pledging a fair resolution. The Democratic Patriots of Africa has commended Interior Minister Honorable Bumi Tunji Ojo for transformative reforms across Nigeria's Ministry of Interior, giving a strong vote of confidence in his leadership. Speaking at a press conference in Abuja, DPA country representative Ayobami Adeyemi pressed the minister for modernizing passport processing, enhancing border security, and introducing digital solutions to improve public service efficiency. Adeyemi also lauded improvements in the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Correctional Service, and Federal Fire Service, highlighting these achievements as reflective of the renewed hope agenda. The group applauded President Bola Tinubu to entrusting such a critical ministry to a capable reformer. Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara has declared that permanent secretaries who engage in illegality during the state's 6-month emergency rule will face sanction. He made this known on Friday while swearing in Austin Ezekiel Hart as a new permanent secretary at the Government House in Port Harcourt. Fubara expressed disappointment that some top civil servants failed in their duty to uphold due process, instead compromising the principles of the service. He warned that misconduct will no longer be tolerated, noting that the record of past wrongdoing remains intact and will be revisited at the right time. He commended Ezekiel Hart for his professionalism, integrity, and refusal to compromise despite prejudice, stressing that these qualities earned him the appointment. The government reaffirms his administration's commitment to truth, fairness, and due process, insisting that no directive, irrespective of its origin, should override civil service rule and procedures. Retirees and landlords at Olympic Layout, Enugu, face eviction after the state government imposed an 8 million naira infrastructure levy under Governor Peter Mbah's directive. Residents, mostly pensioners and widows, set the charges 10,000 naira per square meter for infrastructure and 4,000 naira for a certificate of occupancy exceeds the value of their properties. How can a retiree pay 8 million naira for land worth less? Asked Layout Chairman George Ogusi. Some pleaded for reduction to 1 million naira with his installment. However, the Enugu State Geographic Information Service defended the levy as part of a regularization plans to fund basic infrastructure while extending a partial payment window. Panic broke out near the Edo State Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency on Friday after officers fired gunshots while pursuing an articulated truck driver who allegedly rammed into their vehicles and refused to stop. Eyewitnesses said the chase expanded along Upper Sapoba Road towards Okpa Market, forcing traders and residents to flee in confusion. NDLEA officer reportedly shot into the air and deflated several tires before eventually arresting the driver. State Commander Michael Ofonyewu described it as a simple matter, stressing that the gunfire was not meant to cause panic, but to compel the errant driver to halt. The incident, however, left residents shaken, with many worried about the risks of stray bullets in such a densely populated area. The Benue State government has unveiled its IDP policy to provide durable solutions for displaced communities, emphasize safe return integration and livelihood restoration. Governor Hyacinth Alia, represented by his deputy, pledged people-centered intervention, farm projects, and transparent monitoring. Complementing this, Alia marked Nigeria's 65th anniversary by awarding scholarship to children of fallen heroes and empowering widows with businesses. He earlier donated 380 million naira to families of slain security personnel, reinforcing his message that sacrifices will never be forgotten. This twin initiative reflects a leadership style blending empathy, security reform, and recovery, offering displaced persons and security families dignity and hope. The Kogi NGOs network has urged the National Inland Waterways Authorities to implement long-term reform in marine transport to cope reoccurring boat accident. This follows the Ibaji tragedy that claimed 36 lives. Chairperson Hamza Aliyu expressed sorrow and stressed the need for both immediate relief and structural solutions in Kogi and relevant agencies to provide emergency aid, counseling, and medical support for survivors, alongside grants for victim families. The group also recommended deploying safety teams in high-risk and crossing and establishing a marine transport regulatory framework in partnership with communities and civil society groups. An Oyo State High Court sitting in Ibadan has extended an interim injunction retraining the United Bank for Africa from releasing or tampering with statutory allocations deposited in the accounts of all 30 local governments in Osun State. The order granted by Justice A.L. Akintola following an ex parte motions. The chairman, led by Safaruddin Awatudi, also directed UBA to place a post to no debit then on the account. The claimants argued that urgent intervention was necessary to prevent illegal dissipation of funds by sacked APC chairman. Hearing continues on October 9, 2025. The Armed Forces of Nigeria on Saturday confirmed the arrest of 16 officers over alleged indiscipline and breach of service rule. Investigations linked their grievances to repeated failure in promotion exams and career stagnation. Director of Defense Information, Brigadier General Tukur Gusau, he said some were already facing trial for other offenses. He stressed their conduct was incompatible with military standards. Officers indicated after investigations will face disciplinary measures. The military assured the public that the arrests are routine efforts to preserve discipline, loyalty, and professionalism within the rank, warning it will not tolerate action undermining institutional integrity. Chief of Naval Staff Vice Admiral Emmanuel Agala says the Nigerian Navy has successfully reversed maritime insecurity, eliminating piracy in Nigerian waters since 2022 and boosting oil production. Speaking at the Nigerian Military School, Zaria, during a regimental parade in the honor, Ogala attributed the feat to operations such as Delta Sanity and joint efforts with sister services. He noted that maritime security strengthened Nigeria's economy with oil revenues now more secure. The naval chief praised officers for their sacrifices and commissioned new projects at the schools, including smart classrooms, pledging continued support for military education and discipline. The First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, has extended support to vulnerable groups in Yobe State through a donation of food items, represented by the Vice President's wife, Nana Kashim Shettima. The initiative, part of the Renewed Hope initiative, aimed to empower women in agriculture with training, resources, and start-up kits, while providing medical support to senior citizens and people with special needs. Hajiya Hafsat Maimala Buni, Yobe State First Lady, praised the program and highlighted the state government's efforts in women empowerment, girl-child education, and post-insurgency recovery. The Deputy Governor affirmed continued collaboration to improve lives through the initiative. The most compelling stories are coming up, but after this short commercial break, you won't want to miss a single update. So please don't go away. We'll be right back.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way. Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way. Are you stuck in Jalingo late?
Welcome back. Welcome back. We are glad you're still here with us. Coming up next are the international business, sport and entertainment news. On the international news, Gaza Civil Defense Agency reported that Israel carried out heavy overnight air and artillery strike on Gaza City, despite U.S. President Donald Trump's appeal to pause bombardment after Hamas accepted to a ceasefire proposal. Spokesman Mahmoud Bassel said 20 homes were destroyed, with rescue workers unable to reach many victims due to tank and shelling. Hospital confirmed civilians' deaths, including children, in homes and displacement camps. Trump has given Hamas until 22,000 GMT on Sunday to accept his 20-point peace plans or face what he called all hell. The proposal, backed by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, includes a ceasefire, hostage releases, Hamas disarmament and phased Israeli withdrawal, with Trump heading a traditional authority. Though welcomed intentionally, Hamas leaders remain split over disarmament and oversight terms. Analysts warn that internal divisions and soaring civilians' casualties already exceeded 66,000 deaths may determine whether Gaza moves towards truce or deeper devastation. On business news, Jack Motors has reaffirmed its commitment to Nigeria, strengthening its partnership with Elizade Jack Autoland. The company sold distributors in the country during an official visit. Jack Motors International General Manager Mr. Oscar Yu emphasized Nigeria's strategic importance in Africa and pledged continued support for delivering durable, affordable, and technologically advanced vehicles. The visit also focused on expanding market share, enhancing after-sales services, and introducing innovative model tailored to Nigerian consumers. Elizade Jack Autoland CEO Demola Ade Ojo, he hailed the collaboration as a boost for customer satisfaction, spare parts availability, and overall growth of Jack's presence in Nigeria. Entertainment news. U.S. music mogul Sean Diddy Combs has been sentenced to 50 months in federal prison and fined $500,000 for 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. U.S. District Judge Arun Subramanian handed down the sentence, emphasizing the sovereignty of Combs' crimes and the need for accountability for abuse against women. Evidence presented at a trial included texts, emails, and a video showing Combs assaulting singer Cassie and Ventura in 2024. Despite a last-minute video highlighting his philanthropy, Combs' apology was questioned by the court. Outpatient treatment and mental health program will accompany his prison terms, and an appeal is expected. On sport news, the second edition of Africa for Peace Sport Festival is set to begin in Delta State on November 15th with 10 million naira prize money and several consolidation prizes at stake, which is organized to mark the 2025 International Day for Tolerance. The festival will feature football, scrambles, snooker, tennis, and gym competition, while chess and force football will serve as demonstration games. Former Super Eagle player Edema Fuludu has been appointed chairman of the local organizing committee. Initiator Ambassador Sharif Mulade said the event will also provide a platform for scouting new talent for Nigeria's national mini football team. And before we go, as our broadcast comes to an end, here is a quick recap of the stories we brought to you today. President Tinubu emphasized religious tolerance and urged Nigerians to embrace coexistence during the funeral of Mama Lydia Netewe in Jos. In Nasarawa, plans are on the way to vaccinate 1.3 million children against measles and rubella, while the Small-Scale Women's Farmers Organization in Nigeria called on federal and state government to subsidize agricultural input to support women farmers. On the international front, Israel carried out heavy strike on Gaza despite a U.S. ceasefire proposal. Business news. Jack Motors reaffirmed its commitment to Nigeria, strengthening its partnership with Elizade. In entertainment, U.S. hip-hop star Sean Diddy Combs was sentenced to 50 months in prison over prostitution charges. And finally, in sport, the Africa for Peace Sport Festival is set to begin in Delta State with a 10 million naira prize up for grab. And that's where we leave it tonight. I remain Bridget James. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.
Are you stuck in Jalingo late at night? Need a safe and reliable ride fast? Introducing Supercab, Jalingo's trusted ride-hailing service from anywhere in the city. We will pick you up right at your doorstep. Book a ride in seconds. Safe, fast, and affordable. Visit www.supercab.com.ng or download the Supercab app today. Supercab, your ride, your way.